Premiering at the 2023 South by Southwest Film Festival, Problemista, directed and written and starring Julio Torres, his debut feature film off of A24. Nice endorsement there. This one following an aspiring toy designer whose work visa is running out, and he finds a job assisting an erratic art world outcast played by none other than Tilda Swinton. I think we were very excited for this one based on the talent involved, based on it being a comedy, given a prominent headlining slot. I think it definitely was like an odder, more unique package than we were ready for, but or I don't want to say ready for, than maybe we expected. And I do really love that about it. Like, you get a lot of Julio's very unique sensibility translating to this film. Art, what was the thing that you were really struck by when watching Problemista?
His walk. We've been replicating this little walk.
I mean, I don't have a list ready, but it's definitely a top 5 movie walks of all time.
Yeah.
I'll put John Travolta in Saturday Night Live up there, and him.
No, it's like you said, the way that he's able to tell his story of just being a creative, which I thought was really cool, because you're not just seeing that in the dialogue that they have with each other. There's a lot of physical comedy in this.
Yes.
There's a lot of bits dealing with like flashlights on phones, and then he's able to cut. And I'm very curious how they're going to do the trailer to like what's going on in his mind, how he visualizes the struggle of trying to get that visa was beautiful when he's pitching his ideas to Hasbro, and he's got him in his mind.
There's a lot of comedies that are very funny on the page. They have great lines and have very funny people delivering them. There's like a visual creativity, the way he's able to represent some of the things his character is going through, that I wasn't expecting out of this movie, and I'm really, really struck by just the whole way he literalizes the immigration process visually. I thought is extremely exciting and funny and tragic and just amazing. I don't know. It really feels like a very personal story and a very personal sensibility. It doesn't feel like anybody could have written this. It feels like only he could have written this. And yeah, I mean, I was really struck by just how unique it felt and how funny it was. I was very, I really, really enjoyed it. And not only Julio, who gives an excellent performance of the lead, this is one of the best Tilda Swinton performances I think we've had in some time. She's so funny in this film. Were you struck by her?
Oh yeah, no, she was fantastic. We've been like kind of quoting her all weekend since seeing it. Or we say I had to do my Problemista. I had to put my Problemista energy out there. You know.
I got a copyright strike on something, and I pulled a Tilda Swinton on it, got that removed as well. So it's a life-altering movie.
A little bit. But you hate her as a person. Like, you don't want to know this person. You don't want to hang out with this person, but you want to take a little bit of the energy.
And that's what's so beautiful about it. I love a lot of what the movie is pushing, and the idea of how you're supposed to get through life, especially because she's playing the partner of someone. She's technically a critic in the movie, if I'm not mistaken. And because of that, she gets involved with Riz's character, who we're going to talk about, because he's an artist who makes eggs. And there's a lot of controversy between the two of them, with her being a critic, but then also with something that he does in the movie. That kind of becomes a through line for why these two meet to begin with, why she has Alejandro as kind of like her sidekick.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that there are a lot of very like grounded real world things, the whole dealing with the work visa and trying to get a job and trying to just like scrape by on Craigslist jobs to have enough money. But there's also this very kind of fantastical element to it, this almost like sci-fi undertone.
But it feels real, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's embodying what those emotions are. There is a bank sequence in this that is a top 10 scene of the year for me.
It's gonna be clipped and put on Twitter and get like 5 million views.
That joke continues through the final line in the credits.
Yes.
So yeah, he's able to just visualize these moments incredibly. It's also narrated by
Isabella Rossellini.
She's just hilarious. But that Rizzo role, it was getting really hyped up about how good he is, and he's great.
Yeah.
But he's not in it enough for me to like want to give him
as a standout.
As a standout. But like, he was working with something in this that I thought was very different.
I don't feel like I've seen him in that mode.
And I wanted to see more of him.
That
would have been really cool. There's also a couple of other ones, like when he's dealing with the immigration, the character of Khalil's played by Laith Knockley, who's in Remy, and he's been in a couple of other stuff. Greta Lee appears for a little moment. Larry Owens is Craigslist.
Yeah, I love that.
At first I was like, this is too much. And then by like the third time, you're like, where is he?
What
do we got going on
here? More Larry Owens.
Yeah, so even the mom, I appreciated the moments when they were able to have those intimate talks when he's calling back home and you have his mom just hoping that he's going to be able to make it and keeping those sequences in Spanish, including in the Q&A. She had just some hilarious moments
I don't know.
when those were translated. But yeah, no, I love the back and forth between these characters. I like the visual style of it, the way that it's shot.
They're a great oddball couple because she is so assertive and so dominates every conversation she's in, and he's so timid and so reserved. So just that energy of them next to each other is very funny. I don't know. It's a really great project for him. I think it's the kind of thing that's going to convert a lot of people into fans of Julio Torres.
It's all him.
Yeah,
that's what I love to see.
It's not even just showcase for him as a performer, but really a showcase for his brain.
It's
and how
everything.
it just works differently.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it does have a lot of very unique visual aspects and just humor that's going to feel familiar, but then things that just feel like I've never really seen anybody approach something like this and actually pull it off. Sometimes they try similar things and I'm like, do you work for you? Trying too hard. This actually like the Craigslist thing, that worked for me. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. Oh my God.
There were a bunch of very crowd-pleasing comedies here. Bottoms, Joyride, we already talked about. Problemista is maybe a bit more on the avant-garde weird edge, and I can see some people. It's A24, right?
It's the perfect A24 movie. You're saying it's going to be too quirky for some people.
For some people, and probably not a lot of
I've met
Intercut.
some of those people.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be too weird for most Intercut watchers.
Yeah,
it's going to be too weird for some people.
I agree, but you know that already off of just reading it.
It's called Problemista.
Yeah, you know exactly already if the movie's going to be for you or not. Once the trailer comes out, you're going to know even more. But I appreciate the fact that they allowed him to do what he wanted to do with it, and I think the more projects that he gets out there, I know a big part of the Q&A was how do you keep your vision in such a studio system? And Tilda's response was, don't see yourself as being in the system to begin with.
There you go.
So a lot that I loved about this
there's
movie.
a lot of shutdown questions.
Hell
They
yeah.
just shut them down.
Hell yeah.
And sometimes it was warranted, and other times it was like, oh, they didn't mean it like that.
We'll figure it out, because things can get misconstrued, and I think just not acknowledging the question because it's already phrased with certain intent is a great way.
Yeah, no, I hate it.
prove
Yeah,
your
that
point.
happens. That's usually what most of these questions end up being, though.
For me, this is a music box premiere. Whatever your art house local theater is,
Check it out.
this is where you want to go and support it.
Yeah, it's absolutely worthwhile. I mean, it's just such a very funny and very particular type of humor. It's very exciting too. I know the story is so personal to him. Even the idea of the toy designer is very much an echo of his My Favorite Shapes special. So I'm curious what his next step is going to be too, because this was so exciting. I just hope that he's got he talked about having a bunch of more bits in his pocket.
Got everything.
I'm sure he'll be fine, but it does make me excited for what he can continue to do.
Yep.
But this one's great too. Not to diminish it in any way. I'm hoping people check it out.
No, this is one of those this is a really good start. This was a bold start, authentic start. So yeah,
I could even see this one. It's not gonna. I would very much doubt it getting the Oscar conversation, but maybe a Gotham,
I think it has
Tilda?
legs. I think it has legs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So we all would recommend Problemista.